Hello children, so welcome to the second session of biology. In the last session we saw about transportation in animals. So what I said about transportation? Transportation means moving of all the components around our body is called as transportation. So there is a movement of oxygen, there is a movement of all the waste products like carbon dioxide, there is a movement of all the digested food also. So likewise in this video you are going to see about the transportation in plants. So transportation in plants. First we saw about the animals, the animal body, in human body. The same concept, but what happens in the plant body, about that only we are going to see today. So let us start the session. Plants take water and minerals from the soil through roots and transport to the leaves. So what plants do? So imagine a plant is there. What it does, it takes up the water and minerals from the soil. The soil is there, it is being planted. It just sucks up all the nutrients and water through the roots and they let out to all the leaves. It is like a tube it is like a motor. The root is like a motor. It sucks up all the nutrients and water and transport to different parts, that is the leaves, the stem and all. The leaves prepare food for the plant using water and carbon dioxide during photosynthesis. So you know the process of photosynthesis. You would have been studied before itself. The pigment present in the leaf, that is the chlorophyll, with the help of sunlight, carbon dioxide and water, what happens? Some chemical reaction takes place and finally we get starch. So that is the process of photosynthesis. So the leaves only prepares the food for the plant using water, carbon dioxide during photosynthesis. So food is the source of energy and every cell of an organism gets energy. So all food is very important in order to get energy. And all the cells of an organism gets energy through breakdown of glucose. So what I told, starch is being produced. After that the breakdown of glucose takes place. So the glucose only gives the energy. So that is what is said here. Then next, cells use this energy to carry out the vital activities of the cell. So what happens? With the help of the leaf, in the photosynthesis process, the starch is produced. After that, what happens? There is a breakdown of glucose and what happens? The energy is being released and all the cells get the energy required to function its vital functions. That is, the plant breathes, it respires. So for respiration also it needs energy. For photosynthesis also it needs energy. To suck up all the nutrients from the soil, for that also it needs energy. So there are many activities happening inside the plant body. So for that they need energy. So for that the breakdown of glucose takes place. And food must be available to every cell of an organism. So we know about that. All the cells need the required energy for an organism. Then only they can function properly. Next, transport of water and minerals. How the water and minerals are transported throughout all the parts of the plant. So plants absorb water and minerals by roots. So how the plants get waters and minerals? Through the root only. What happens? If you are having a small potted plant, we water the plant. Whereas if you see trees, huge trees in forest, they get rainfall. So what happens? The rain falls down or the water. The soil, what it does, it just absorbs the water and in the soil itself there will be some moisture content, some water will be there inside it. So what roots will do, it will suck up, it will take absorb all the nutrients and water from the soil. The root hairs. So what happens? The root has small hairs in it. With those root hairs only, they will absorb the water and nutrients. So root hair increase the surface area of the root for the absorption of water. So these root hairs only will to a larger area of surface. So if the plant is here means the roots will be growing to a certain distance apart from the plant. If it may be around 1 meter or 2 meter, in the underground the root would have been grown and it will suck up all the nutrients and water for the plant to grow. So that is the main function of the root hair. The root hair is in contact with the water present between the soil particles. Like I already said, the soil will have moisture content inside it. So what happens? This small hairs, they go in between the soil deep down and they take all the nutrients and water from the soil and transport it to the plant. So like you can see in the diagram, so all the water from the root, in the violet lines you can see all the water has been sucked and let into the all the leaves and branches, and all the food content, the glucose, what happens after photosynthesis, the glucose has been transported from the leaf to the root. So this is only the transportation of water and minerals. If you take example this pot plant, so there is mud inside the pot plant, the plant is there, what happens? We daily water the plant and deep inside the soil there will be root, it will fix the plant to the soil. What happens if we water the plant over here? It absorbs all the water and lets into the root hairs, they will absorb, and through this stem what happens, the water and all the nutrients passes and finally it reaches the leaves, so they grow. So this is the overall process of how transportation of water and minerals takes place. Now I will give you a short recap from the first. Today we saw about transportation in plants. Then we saw all the water and mineral content are being absorbed by the root hairs only. Then we saw about photosynthesis. The leaves only will prepare the starch for photosynthesis and there is a breakdown of glucose, and finally what happens, the energy is released and all the cells get the energy. Food is very important for functioning the vital activities. Then we saw how water and minerals are transported. It is transported through roots only. The small root hairs that are present, it increases the surface area of absorption of water. If the plant is in one position, the growth of the root will be apart from 1 meter or 2 meters. It would have been grown so much far from the plant. It absorbs all the water and lets it through the stem and finally leaves. So that is the main function of root hair, and they will be in contact with all the water particles present inside the soil. Then finally we saw the circulation of water and minerals inside the tree.
This is a picture of the absorption of water from the root. So in the image we can see how water from the soil particles move through the root hair and finally reach the xylem and phloem. So in the image you can see from the round particles are the water molecules. So from the soil the root hair absorbs all the water and lets out as shown in the diagram. It goes in the cortical cell and finally reach the xylem. So this is how the water is transported through root. So we saw the diagram how water transported from a plant, a whole plant. This is a section of root. Inside the root, like this only, the water travels.
We were talking about the transportation of water and minerals. So what happens from the root? the water just passes through the stem and finally leaves. So it is a circle. We learned how the water enters the plant and what are the sources that they get water and how do they get food. So we know what is happening inside the plant body, how they get water and how they get food. So for this functioning, they need some tissue, they need some special parts inside their body. So now we are going to learn what are the parts that are involved and what are the parts that they help in doing such functions. Those things we are going to see now. So plants have a pipe-like vessel to transport water and nutrients from the soil. So what happened? It has a pipe-like structure inside their body. All the plants have, and that pipe-like structure only what they do, they help to transport the water and nutrients from the soil. So what we saw, the root, it sucks up the water particles and minerals from the soil, and they take up and finally passes through this tube-like structure to transport the water. The vessels are made up of special cells. So these pipe-like structures, they are made up of a special cells. So forming the vascular tissue. So this tube-like structure that helps to conduct the water from the absorption of fluids to the other parts of the body, those are called as vascular tissue. And a tissue is a group of cells that perform specialized function in an organism. So you already know what is a tissue. Tissue means it is a group of cells. Many cells together form a tissue, and what these tissue do is they are assigned to perform a specific function. So that is only the function of tissue. And these vascular tissue, it is a type of tissue that has a specific function to conduct all the water and minerals from the soil. So that is what is said here. And next, the vascular tissue for the transport of water and nutrients in the plant is called xylem. So we learned about vascular tissue. What this vascular tissue does is it takes up all the nutrients and water and transports to different parts of the plant. So in that vascular tissue, one part called xylem is present. So what this xylem is, it transports only water and its nutrients, all the water containing nutrients and water. It contains those things only. So those are only called as xylem. Then the xylem forms a continuous network of channels. So they are telling about the structure of the xylem, how this xylem will be. It will be a continuous network of channels. So channels means it will be in pathways. So pathways are called as channels. So they will be continuously like tubule-like structures that connects roots to the leaves. So what happens? Xylem will conduct water only. So in order to conduct water to different parts of the plant, where does the water comes for the plant? From the roots only. So these xylem are connected to, first they are connected to roots only. From roots they are connected to the leaves. So leaves also need water. From the root the water has to go to the leaf. So the xylem is designed like that. It is the structure. From the root it is connected to the leaves through which the stem. So if you can see this diagram, the xylem is connected from the root to the leaf through the stem. So stem is a pathway for connecting water from the root to the leaf. So that is the organization of xylem, and thus transport water to the entire plant. So like this only the water has been conducted to different parts of the plant. Next, leaves, since synthesize food. So we know the food, the starch is synthesized by leaves only using the photosynthesis process and the chlorophyll pigment present inside them. With the help of sunlight, carbon dioxide and water, they synthesize starch, and we already learned the breakdown of glucose only gives the energy for functioning of all the cells in the plant body. So all these things happens inside the leaves only. They are only the synthesize, the food factory of the plant. The leaves are known as the food factory of the plant. So they only synthesize the food. The food has to be transported to all the parts of the plant. So what happens? For example, we eat food. If it remains inside the mouth, there is no use. If it remains inside our stomach like that itself, there is no use of it. It has to digest all the food. It has to take up the nutrients and pass to all the parts of the body in order to get energy all over the body. So likewise in plants also, after preparing the food in the leaf, it has to transport to different parts of the plant. Then only all the parts of the plant will function properly. So for that transportation of food materials to different parts of the plant, a structure is used. So that is only called as phloem. So vascular tissue consists of xylem and phloem. Xylem, what it does, it transports the water, and phloem will transport all the food materials. The food materials produced in the leaf are transported to all the parts of the body through phloem only. So it is designed like that to transport all the food. Xylem and phloem transport substances in plants. So xylem and phloem are only responsible for transporting, for moving all the water and food inside the body. So if you see the diagram, in the pink line denotes the xylem. So what it does, it takes up all the water from the roots and slowly moves through the stem, and finally it reaches all the leaves. So from the root to the leaf, the water is conducted. If you see phloem, it is the vice versa. So food is being produced in the leaf using photosynthesis process. From the leaf, all the food is being transported from the leaf to roots to all the parts of the body. So this is the function of xylem and phloem. Now I will give you a short recap from the first. We saw about transportation of water and food, and what are the tissues, what are the vessels, parts of the body that are used for transportation of food and nutrients. So it is a vessel is present to transport water and nutrients from the soil. It is a pipe-like structure, and these vessels are made up of special cells, and those cells are only called as vascular tissue. So this vascular tissue only helps in transporting all the materials. This vascular tissue contains a special cell, and it forms the vascular tissue. And a tissue means what? It is a group of cells that perform specialized function in the organism. It performs specific function, and it is formed of a group of cells. So the vascular tissue transport water and nutrient in the plant. So those vascular tissue that transport water and nutrients, that is the watery content, is done in xylem only. So xylem consists of network of channels that connects the water from the root to the leaf through the stem. So the stem is the pathway from the root, it goes, reaches the leaf, and they are talking about the food transportation. So leaf only synthesizes all the food through photosynthesis. So from the leaf, all the food has to go to all the parts of the body. So for that, phloem is helping. So phloem, what it does, from the leaf it transports food to all the parts of the body. For that, phloem is helping. Xylem and phloem together called as vascular tissue, and they only transport the substances in plants. So we saw about xylem and phloem. What does xylem carry? They carry water, and phloem carries all the food material. So this is one type of transportation. Transportation of water also we saw in xylem, and transportation of food materials through phloem. Next, the third transportation is the waste products. So if you think about the transportation in animals, what we saw in blood, they carry all the digested food also, they carry all the oxygen also, and even the excretory products, that is the carbon dioxide also is carried in the blood. So here now we are going to see how the excretory product is carried out, it is transported out in the plants. So the carrying of all the excretory products are known as transpiration. The carrying of all the excretory products are called transpiration. So transpiration, what it does is, it lets out all the excess amount of water present in the plant. So that is the process of transpiration. So transpiration is the biological process by which water is lost. So what they tell? Transpiration, it is a biological process in which water is being lost. That is, the excess water that are not needed for the plant body are lost through transpiration in the form of aerial parts of the plant. So what happens? All the excess water are evaporated through the aerial parts. So aerial parts means the leaves, the stems, all these upper part of the plant are known as aerial parts of the plant. So evaporation of water, excess water in the aerial parts are known as transpiration. Like all living organisms, plants also require excretory system to discharge excess of water from the body. So like all the living organisms, they have to, even plants also are living organisms. They also need to expel all the waste out. So for that, this transpiration process is there for excreting all the waste products from the body, like all other organisms. To discharge all the excess water, the transpiration process is taking place. Then the process of elimination of excess water from the plant body is known as transpiration. So I already told you the process of elimination of excess water from the plant body is known as transpiration. It is generally the evaporation of water from the surface of the leaves. So usually transpiration occurs on the leaves only. The excess water that are not needed for the plant body will be there on the surface of the leaf. So what happens? They just evaporate. So that is only called as the transpiration process. So during the process of transpiration, water molecules in the plant tissues are removed. So what happens? The water molecules, the excess water molecules that are present on the plant tissues are being evaporated from the aerial parts, that is the leaves, stem and other parts that are present on the upper part. So those are the aerial parts. Through that, when water, excess water is evaporated from the plant tissues, that is known as transpiration. Only small amount of water absorbed by the plant is utilized in growth and development. So what they tell, the plant uses only very little amount of water for all the metabolic activities in their body. So other than taking up the small amount of water, other water are excretory. They don't need so much of water, only very types of transpiration are happening. Now we are going to see the type of transpiration. So where are the parts? Based on the parts that the excess water are evaporated, they are divided into three types. One is stomatal transpiration, the second one is lenticular transpiration, the third is cuticular transpiration. Stomatal transpiration, lenticular transpiration and cuticular transpiration. So stomatal transpiration means when water evaporates through the stomata and the leaves, it is known as stomatal transpiration. Lenticular transpiration means these are small openings present on the tree trunk or branches. So when water evaporates through these openings that are present on the branches or twigs, they are known as lenticular transpiration. So that openings are called as lenticels. When water evaporates through that opening, it is known as lenticular transpiration. The third is the cuticular transpiration. So cuticle is a covering, waxy covering over the surface of the leaves. When through that water is evaporated, then it is known as cuticular transpiration. Now I will give you a short recap from the first. We saw about transpiration. So transpiration is nothing but it is a biological process by which water is lost through aerial parts of the body. Like all other organisms, plants also excrete the waste products. So this transpiration is an excretory system of plants. So they discharge excess water from the body. The process of elimination of excess of water from the plant is known as transpiration. The process of elimination of excess water from the plant is known as transpiration. It is generally the evaporation of water from the surface of the leaf. So water evaporates mainly from the surface of the leaves only. During the process of transpiration, water molecule in the plant tissue are removed from the aerial parts of the plant. So what happens? All the water molecules are evaporated from the plant tissue. All the excess water molecules are evaporated from the aerial parts, that is the leaves, stem and other parts, the upper parts of the plant are evaporated through transpiration, and only very small amount of water are absorbed for growth and other metabolic activities. So other excess water, the rest of the water are eliminated through transpiration. Then next we saw the types of transpiration. Stomatal transpiration, transpiration through stomata, lenticular transpiration through transpiration through lenticels, that is openings present on the branch, and cuticular transpiration means the waxy covering present on the leaf. So these are the three types of transpiration. On the next board, I will tell you about these three types of transpiration in detail. We saw about transpiration. So what is transpiration? Evaporating of the excess water. So transpiration is it is like an excretory system. It is an excretory process. All the waste products are removed. So in that transpiration, there are different types of transpiration. Now about that only we are going to see now. So today we are going to see the types of transpiration. So the first type is stomatal transpiration. It is the evaporation of water from the stomata. So you know what is stomata. Stomata will be present in the leaves. So small openings that are present in the leaves are called as stomata. So when water evaporates through that stomata, then it is called as stomatal transpiration. So evaporation of water from the stomata is known as stomatal transpiration. Next is most of the water from the plant is transpired this way. So the maximum amount of the water from the plant is being evaporated through all the stomatal openings only. So the maximum transpiration occurs in the stomata. The water near the surface of the leaves changes into vapor. So what happens? the excess water will be present over the surface of the leaves. So what happens when sunlight falls over the leaf? It evaporates through those openings. So that is only is mentioned here. The water near the surface of the leaf. So near the surface of the leaf, the water molecules will be present. When sunlight falls on the leaf, what happens? The water just evaporates through the stomatal opening. So you can imagine you have a pot of water. What happens when on fire it starts to boil? On the gaps of the pot, what happens? The vapors comes out. Like that only here also it's happening. Next, and it evaporates when stomata is open. So only when the stomatal pores are being open, only when they are being open, the waters will evaporate. The next type is lenticular transpiration. Lenticular transpiration. First, I am going to tell what are lenticular. Then we will see how it transpires. Lenticels are minute openings in the bark of branches and twigs. So bark means the trunk, the tree trunk and the branches. In those, these small openings will be present. Whereas if you see stomata, it will be present in the leaf. But here, lenticels will be present on the bark or twigs or branches of the leaves. When the openings are present in the barks or branches or twigs, then it is called as lenticels. So these are also minute openings in the bark and branches or twigs. So evaporation through lenticels are known as lenticular transpiration. So when evaporation of excess water occurs in the lenticels, when evaporation of water occurs in the branches, trunks or twigs, then they are known as lenticular transpiration. So this is the second type of transpiration. The third is the cuticular transpiration. So cuticular transpiration. First I am going to tell what is cuticle. So cuticle is a outer layer, a covering layer that will be present on the plant. So evaporation through the cuticle is known as cuticular transpiration. Cuticle is a waxy covering on the surface of the leaves of the plant. So I already told you it's a covering. It is like a coating over the leaves. When water is present on that, it will evaporate. When excess of water transpires through the cuticle, through the waxy coating, then it is known as cuticular transpiration. 5 to 10% of water from the leaves are lost. So 5 to 10% of excess water comparing to if you see in stomatal transpiration, 90% will be evaporating through stomatal transpiration. Whereas if you see cuticular, only 5 to 10% of excess water will be transpired through cuticular transpiration. Dry conditions, when stomata are closed, more water is transpired through cuticle. So here what we saw, when the stomata is being open, transpiration takes place. In case in dry conditions, the stomata will be closed. In such conditions, what happens? The water will evaporate through the cuticular only. So that is what is said here. In the dry conditions, through stomata, the transpiration does not take place. So what happens? The water automatically evaporates through the cuticle of the leaf. That is the waxy covering, the outer coating of the leaf. Now I will give you a short recap from the first. We saw the types of transpiration. First is the stomatal transpiration. So stomatal transpiration means evaporation of water from the stomata is known as stomatal transpiration. Stomata means the tiny openings on the leaf. So most of the water are transpired through this opening only. So maximum amount of water are transpired through stomatal opening, and water near the surface of the leaves turns into vapor and evaporates when the stomata is open. So what they tell? When the stomata is been open, all the water on the surface of the leaf evaporates. The next type is lenticular transpiration. So lenticular means first they tell you what are lenticels. Lenticels are minute openings present on the bark, branches or twigs of the plant. So when that evaporation happens through lenticels, then they are known as lenticular transpiration. Then the third type we saw is cuticular transpiration. Evaporation of water from the cuticle is known as cuticular transpiration. So cuticle is a waxy covering on the surface of the leaves of the plant. So the waxy covering present of the leaf, when transpiration occurs through that layer, then it is known as cuticular transpiration. 5 to 10% of water are lost through this type of transpiration, that is cuticular transpiration. And in dry conditions, what happens is the stomata are closed. In that condition, what happens? Through this cuticular transpiration only, all the excess water evaporates. Now we saw about the transportation in animals. First we saw about animals. In this video we saw about plants. That is how all the food is being transported to all the parts of the body, and then we saw about how water is transported through all the parts of the body, and finally we saw about transpiration and its types. So transpiration means it is an excretory system for plants. So these are the things that were taught today. Worksheets will be sent to you in your WhatsApp group. Fill those with answers and send those PDF in your WhatsApp group. Thank you, children.